Today, let us see the file permissions. File permissions. Uh, Let me take a text file. So let me take a text file for permissions. I'm taking a text file just to explain you. File permissions. So file permissions means the ownership of the file. Ownership of the file. So ownership of the file here, in order to decide the ownership of the file, we have three persons. So three persons. One is owner. Three group of people we are having. Another one is group. Next others. So if there is a file, whoever has created that file, so what are the permissions he is having, what he can perform, what he can do with a particular file. For example, we are having C program, add.c, it's a file. And we are having directories, some dir1, it's a directory that also will comes under a directory file. So what rights we have, what are the permissions we can perform. So that's what we are discussing. That is nothing but ownership. Ownership of a file. You can call it as ownership of a file. Okay. So here three group of people will be having: owner, group, and others. Owner will be represented with the U, small u, and group will be represented with G. Others will be represented with O. So these letters we have to remember: user, group, and others. User is nothing but owner. So we can call him as user, owner, or user. Group and others. Based on this, the permissions will be decided. See, some by using some octal numbers, the permissions will be actually decided. So before going to the octal numbers, we are having the permissions. What are the permissions or modes we are having? So here the modes are: read mode will be represented with R, write mode will be represented with W, uh, execute mode will be represented with X. So these are the modes. These are the persons. So if a person is having, or a owner or group is having the modes read, write, and execute. Read, write, and execute, then tells that he is having the full rights upon the file. If, for example, no permission or no mode, no more will be represented with hyphen. No more will be represented with hyphen. Okay. So these are the persons. If the user is having read, write, and execute, then he is having the full permission. User means, here I told you, owner. If the owner is having read, write, and execute, the permissions will be in the same order. He is having full permission. Yeah. And for example, if the user is having read, write, and minus, he is having only read and write permission only. He is having only read and write. Okay. If he is having only R, then remaining hyphen hyphen is having only read permission. It's having only read permission. Send it. So like that we can decide. As it is same with the group. If the group people they are having read, write, and execute on a specific file, so he is having all full permissions. Full permissions. For example, if the group people are having only hyphen hyphen and x, x means executable. He is having only executable permission, exe. He cannot read, he cannot write into that file. Actually, who are this user group and others? Nothing is there. If you take a simple a group, in a group 10 people are there. Let's assume they are the Java people and they are doing Java programming. They are the 10 people in a group. So another group is there. For example, uh, Python group is there. So in that Python group, there are some 10 people. So Java group another group and Python is another group. So this time, so in that Java group, one person is there. That one person, that Java one person, that person name I'm taking, he is the owner. Let's assume he is the owner. So total, the group Java is the group. Java is the group. In that Java group, we are having Java 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 persons are there. But Java, the first person has created a file. He is the owner of that file. For example, that file name here I'm taking, that file name here I'm taking, let's assume some file 1. So this person, that first person, Java 1 person is the owner of that file, is having the full permissions. Java group people, what are the group people having the rights upon a file? And we are having another group, we are having another group. That another group that is Python. We are having another group Python. So that Python group, all the people will comes under others. All the people will comes under others. So one person has created a file. His file name file 1. He is the owner of that file. His person, that person name Java 1. So he belongs to a group that is Java. So that will comes under a group. So the group people will have some other rights upon that file. Who has created, he is having full permissions. The group people will be having some more, means some little less permissions, and other people outside the group, other Python group people will having some more lesser permissions compared with group and owner. So that time, in order to differentiate that, we are going to make use of this read, write, and execute. So what the group people are having, let me tell you, what the owner is having the permissions. Is the owner is having read, write, and execute permissions on file 1. I'm taking file 1. So owner, what are the permissions he is having? He is having read, write, execute. He can perform all the operations. Read, write, execute means full permissions. So with the file, what we can do? We can read means list out the content. We can write, we can modify. Writing means deleting also. We can remove that file also. That's such permission. Executing means some executable files will be there. Such operation. If a person is having these permissions upon a file, he is having full permissions on the file. That's what we have to remember. The group people permissions also must be decided. The group people permissions. For example, they are also having some read, write permissions, no execute permissions. And for example, others will be represented with O. So they are also having read, write, no executable permissions. Okay. So these are the permissions will be given for a particular file. For a particular file. So let me check how these file permissions are working and will be allocated to the file. Let me show you now. We are having a command called ls-l. Here you can see the 9 fields of information along with the file permissions. You can observe here. I am showing you the permissions of sub.cpp. It's a C++ file. What are the permissions he is having? Let me show you. Observe here carefully. Here it is 9 fields of information. This first position that represents type of the file. Next position, this is the permissions up to here. The 9 positions. 9 positions will comes under permissions. File permissions. What is having? So we have to discuss about these permissions only. So once this sub.cpp created, what are the permissions we are having upon the file? So these 9 positions will be divided into 3 parts. 3, 3, 3. The first 3 positions in these 9, these are the permissions of owner or user. Observe here. These are the permissions of owner or user. So what are the user permissions? Tell me. Read, write, and no option, no permission, that is hyphen. These are the permissions of user. I will give you with the like user permissions. Next, group permissions. What are the group permissions? So first these 3, these are the owner or group user permissions. Next three are the group permissions. What the group people are having the permissions upon that file? For example, here the owner name is Red Hat. Group name also Red Hat. Sometimes the group name will be changed, but by default username will be treated as a group name. In this group only one user is there, that is Red Hat. If there are the 10 persons in the group, so what the group people are having the permissions? So it shows the permissions of the group people upon that file. What are the permissions of the group people? Read, write, they cannot execute. Means there is no executable permission there actually. That's why they kept hyphen. That is not executable file also even. Next, others means outside of the group, means other group people. What they are having? Here you can see. They are having only read permission. Read hyphen. No write permission, no executable permission. Okay. So no write permission, no executable permission for the others. Here U means owner or user, G means group, here O means others. So user or owner is having read write permission, and group people are having read write permission, and others are having only read permissions. Okay, these are the permissions of files. Understood? Now, how can we change the permissions? How can we change the permissions of the file? So here we can change the permissions of file by using, here we have three commands. One is chmod. One is chmod. Another one is chown and chgrp. Chgroup means change the mode, means permissions. If you want to change the mode, means here sub.cpp mode means these permissions. If you want to change these modes, read, write, and executable modes, we will make use of this command. Okay. Then chown, ownership. Ownership means who is the owner of this file? Red Hat. If you want to change the owner name of this file or ownership, we can call it as ownership of this file. So we can use the command called chown. And this is called group name. This is username, this is group name. If you want to change the group name of that file, that time we will use chgrp. That time we will use chgrp, group name of that file. So observe here, you'll get these questions. If you want to change the modes or permissions, we will use chmod. If you want to change the username, chown, that is ownership, we can call it as ownership. The terminology we have to use, this is called chgrp, group. If you want to change the group name, or if you want to add some more group names, if you want to modify the group name, then we will use chgrp. These three commands are very useful commands. Okay, very useful commands. Now let us go with chmod. Chmod, how can we change the permissions of the file? By using chmod. Chmod, we are having the syntax chmod. Here we'll be having ownership or the person name we have to give here, either it is user, group, or other, we have to mention. Here we'll be having the permission, removing or adding. That's what we are going to mention. Next, mode, the permission, add, move, or remove, or replace, such things here we will mention. Next, mode means read, write, execute. Such modes here we will keep. And space, here we will be having file name. So this is the syntax of the file, the syntax of the chmod command. Now let us perform the first operation. Here I am taking only sub.cpp. This file only we are taking. Okay, observe here. Here I am having read, write permissions for the owner or user. I wanted to give executable permission to this. I wanted to give executable permission to the owner or user. Owner will be represented with U, not O. Others will be represented with O. Okay. Here, I wanted to give the permissions. Chmod, for the user, I am giving executable permission plus X. Okay. Plus X means the executable permission we are adding, small x only. To which file? Sub.cpp. Observe here, previously it doesn't have any executable permission. Now this executable permission will be added. Okay. So see the syntax. Chmod, for the user we are giving, plus means adding, add X executable permission to which file sub.cpp. Enter. Now you check it with this file work display chain. This will display the single file ls space hyphen l space sub.cpp. Only that file permissions will be displayed. Okay, you can check it. Previously, there is no executable permission. Now I got executable permission for the user. I got executable permission for the user. Is it okay? Now, here for the group also, I'm having read write permissions only, no executable permission. For the group also, I wanted to add executable permission. Chmod g plus x. What's the file name? Sub.cpp. So now you check it with ls-l sub.cpp. See here for the group also I am getting read write and this executable permission has been added. Previously I don't have any executable permission for the here previously we don't have any executable permission for the group. Is it okay? Now, so observe here I am having the others also. Other means these three last three. Only others are having the permission on the file that is only reading. They can only read the sub.cpp. They can't do anything. They cannot do any modifications. Here, I wanted to add write permission and executable permission. Both the permissions I wanted to add. So this time, chmod for the others means O plus means adding the permission. Here I am giving write permission, I am giving executable permission. Both the modes I can add here. To which file? Sub.cpp. You can check with ls-l sub.cpp. See? So previously there are no write and execute permission. Now write and execute permissions I have given to the others. I can add like this. Can add like this. And again, we can remove the permissions also. We can remove the permissions also. Chmod here for group and others. For group and others, I wanted to remove write and executable permissions. So here I can use the combination of all the owner group others also. So for group and others geo, I'm removing the permission, that is minus means removing the permission. The which permissions? Write permission and executable permission. Which file? Space the sub.cpp. So I'm removing sub.cpp. You can check with ls-l sub.cpp. Check here. No write permission, no executable permission for the group and for the others. For the group people and others, they cannot perform write and execute permission, write and execute operations on the file. Yeah. If you want to add, for example, my group people, I doesn't like my group people. I wanted to give the right permissions to the others. We can give the right permissions to the others. Okay. So now this is the way of assigning or adding the permissions and removing the permissions. You can remove all the permissions. For example, chmod for users, for group, for others. I am removing read permission, write permission, executable permission. for the subdots. All permissions I have removed. There are no permissions for the. So this first position I am telling you, this first position is the type of the file. Hyphen represents it's a regular file. It's a regular file. Okay. Excluding that first permission, first position, remaining 9. These are the permissions. There are no permissions here. Again, we can add chmod for user, group, others. I wanted to give read, write permissions. The file name. I can add like this. Okay. So this is the way of adding the permission and removing the permission. And we are having assigning the permission. Assigning. That is equal. We are going to use equal operator. Equal symbol. Here adding is different and assigning is different. Assigning means that will replace the previous permissions. Adding means that will add the permission to the existed permission. So that will add. Assigning means that will replace. For example, here I am having only read write permission for the other. So here, observe here, if I give executable permission, if I assign the executable permission, only executable permission will remain, all will be replaced. So you can see chmod for others equal X I am taking. So on which file? Sub.c. So now what will happen? This permission will replace the previous existed permissions. Means all will be replaced. Only X remains. This is the way of assigning. If you add, what will happen? If you add executable permission, the permissions will be read, write, and execute for the others. But if you assign, the permissions will be no read, no write, only execute. Because I'm assigning it. So you can check it. ls-l. See, these two, there are no permissions. No read, write, only execute. Assign means replacing. Let me perform the assigning to this one also. That is group. So how can we do chmod? For group also, I am assigning, for example, executable permission. So read write already previously it is having, that will be replaced, then only a execute will be assigned. You can check it. ls-l. Yeah, only executable. See, adding is different. Previous permissions will be there only, but some more extra permissions will be added. But assigning means replacing. For example, for this group, group permissions are read. There are no read, no write, only execute. Observe here. I wanted to add read permission to it. I wanted to add read permission to it. So that time chmod g plus read sub.cpp. That's it. For the group, the permissions will be added. That is, read permission has been added. Previously, there is no read permission. So that is the way of assigning the permission and reading the permission. Okay. So now again, we can use the combinations of the persons. For example, for group and others, I wanted to assign only read and write. So previous all permissions will be removed, means will be replaced with this read write permissions. So we can take sub.cpp. You can check it, ls-l. That is only read write we got for the group and read write we got for the others. So this is the way of using chmod. Okay. So here ch own means ownership. Owner name we can change. chgrp we can change the group name. Let us make use of ch own file. Ch own. Here I am giving owner name. Simply directly we can give the owner name. The owner name I am changing it to, for example, Jishnu. This is the username which is there in my system. Here I am taking Jishnu. For which file? Sub.cp. Why it is not changing the ownership? Because I'm a regular user. I don't have any what we call root permissions. The root user can perform this operation. So let me switch to root user. That is next 1, 2, 3. So here only I am ls-l sub.cp. So I wanted to change this username. That time ch own means ownership to Jishnu sub.cp. Now you can check it ls-l sub.cpp. So Red Hat is the previous owner name. Now Jishnu is the owner. Previously it is Red Hat. Now it is Jishnu. Okay. This is the group name. So simply by using ch own, we can change the owner name like this. Next, chgrp. Chgrp. Group name. So here the group name previously it is Red Hat. So if you want to change it to again previously I am having the group name Jishnu. So we are having Jishnu only. Same I am changing it to another group name Jishnu to that is the file name sub.cp. The group name also Jishnu. These these username and group names must be existed in the system. Otherwise, the new names won't be taken. Okay, new names won't be taken here. Group name and owner names. So now you can check ls-l sub.cpp. So the group name also has been changed. Previously, the group name Red Hat. Now the group name Jishnu. Isn't it? So this is the way of making use of the commands called chmod, chown, and chgrp. So Jishnu, just you tell me what's the use of these commands? Jishnu? Okay. These are the uses of the command chmod, chown, and chgrp.